Welcome to another episode of Whose Review Matters Anyway, the podcast where the show notes are made up and the reviews don't matter, just like Dark Souls games, apparently.
Oh,
Playing Elden Ring like Dark Souls games never existed, at least in my opinion.
People are just excited for a new Souls game. That's what it is.
But I played the first Dark Souls game. I've
Mhm.
seen enough speed runs of all three Dark Souls games. I've seen enough speed runs of Bloodborne. This, as cool as it looks, is still the same game. It's just a different theme. But
yeah.
people are acting like this is the first ever Dark Souls games to ever be made. And I'm like, did we not just have like 4 entries already? Like, what makes this one more special?
So what it is that it's different mechanics from different other games where you have Bloodborne mechanics, you have I think Sekiro's mechanics as well, and it's like all put into one game, and also to the storyline because Guillermo del Toro also helped with this game as well.
Oh,
So
I did not know that.
yeah, so that this game is getting a lot of praise with the story, with the combat, with overall gameplay where it just runs a lot smoother than any other Souls game. Bloodborne, in my opinion, was one of the best Souls games ever. Um Dark Souls 3 was good too, but this game might have topped off Bloodborne.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about picking it up just because, like, I do like Dark Souls, even though I didn't really get far into it. I do like the concept behind it, but I think I'm gonna hold off maybe until the summer. I think that'll be my summer game because apparently there's performance issues on that game. I think that's more for PC players, but
Mhm.
I rather just kind of wait till they get all the bugs worked out.
I I'm going to be on the same boat as you. I'm going to wait off a couple months because I still have to beat the first Horizon game, and then I have to play this. I still have to play part two, and that I'm interested in, and then I'm guessing towards the summer, um, I'm going to pick up Elden Ring. I'm in no rush right now. I have a
Yeah,
stack of
Elden Ring.
games.
Elden Ring, I've seen that it's been popping up. That and Pokemon. I haven't seen anything for Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon fell off really
Yeah,
fast. I think what
Hmm.
happened is that everyone picked up on Elden Ring so quick and just was
yeah.
hopping on board that bandwagon that Horizon didn't get that much time in the spot,
Uh,
despite like all
Yeah.
the positive reviews that it's gotten, which kind of sucks.
Well, believe it or not, I've seen a lot more marketing for Horizon than Elden Ring I've ever like.
really?
I didn't
Yeah,
even know Elden Ring came out like 2 or last week ago. Whenever this episode was gonna come out, I didn't know it was coming out so soon. Like I just know that I just saw one trailer that was like in what was it E3, I believe so, and that's it. I haven't even caught up with what's going on with the game, trailers, none of that. I
yeah, I'm the
so
same way.
I literally do not know what this game has, how it runs. I'm just going off base of what other people are saying. I am going to continue on not watching any gameplay because I want to play Elden Ring just blind, like going in blind.
Mm.
Same thing with
Oh,
Horizon too. I've seen a little bit more marketing with Horizon, but I still do not know what's the difference between one and two.
that's fair.
Gotta play it.
Exactly.
Speaking of being played, Mike, how have you been?
I've been played. Pretty good. Listeners, we skipped a week.
We did.
I blame Mike.
I mean, we could blame me, but honestly, I think I saved us all because there was really nothing
Yeah.
out
Oh,
there.
Studio 66.
No,
We
that's just your thing. No, no.
No, no, no. I have Tenacious D. That's all I need. Um,
fair actually.
yeah. I honestly didn't think there was nothing for us to really review, and I know Sal didn't mind to do like a bullshit podcast episode.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
No,
whoa!
like
Oh,
bullshitting.
episode where we just bullshit. Like we
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
literally just talk like whatever.
Yeah, we could talk like whatever, like how long it is, does it swing, does it curve to the left, that type of stuff. I was like, you know what, let's just save that for the next episode because this is a big one. This is a big episode for me at least.
Yep.
At least, so my thoughts are very, very can't wait to talk about it. But I haven't been up to much. My wife actually
Pregnant?
wanted to. Oh my god, no, 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 knock on wood. Um,
Whoa!
my wife actually wanted to do a rerun of the Dark Knight trilogies before we saw
Oh,
the
A
Batman.
rewatch?
okay.
Because she doesn't actually remember of it. I was like, sure, I'm down to watch it. No, I don't mind at all.
Sure.
So it definitely going to. She enjoyed it, of course. She liked them, of course, a lot, and she
Yeah.
was very annoyed with me because I kept on repeating whatever they were saying. I don't know. You guys ever done that?
A little bit, but
I've
just
done that.
drunk. Just
Yeah,
drunk.
you know. And then we
Sober.
saw Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame because my mother in law didn't
Oh,
see
never
those two.
saw it. Never saw it.
Never saw? Oh man, really, really, I highly recommend it. So that was like 5 hours of magic, technically, back to back. You know, so that's what I've been up to. Nothing much, just trying to get my. I'm trying to get my schedule, my life in check.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Trying to balance life.
Speaking of balancing life, Ham.
Jesus Christ, I don't think he will keep his own balance.
Hi.
Next, all right. So what you been up to?
Oh, you want to do that? Oh,
So Ham, you said you wanted to do a review on a short.
No, I want to do a review of the Oscar animated
Shorts.
shorts and the live action shorts. I'm just summing up in a couple words. Uh, Live action shorts are very miserable. You don't like
Mm,
if you're in a good mood, don't watch them because they'll put you down. Uh,
ouch.
the
Hmm.
anime shorts, the first one's fun. First one's going to be on Netflix. It's family friendly. The other ones are like rated R to X. So yeah,
Okay.
Ooh.
yeah. But I did start watching Cuphead, and it's okay. Like I see where they're going with the game to there, but has slight sort of relevance. We'll see with
Mm.
Halo. You know,
So since you brought up Cuphead, the game itself, is it like kind of like not like mature content, but like older age kind of content?
Yeah, older
no,
age
not no,
content.
not at all, not at all,
The
not at all.
game? I'm talking about the
No,
game.
yeah,
No,
not at all.
art, 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 like the artsy form at least. Like the game has an old
It's a
school artsy
mature
form.
art style, but not a mature. Like you could,
Okay, because Cuphead is on the kids version of Netflix. My daughter was watching it, and I looked back and I was like, wait, what? What? This is on here? Like, to me, it just didn't cross my mind to think that it's more like kids centered because the trailer and the gameplay I saw wasn't exactly kids centered. But I
no,
mean, I'd never played the game, so I don't know.
I mean,
there's nothing.
the devil definitely shows up a lot in that game.
No, there's nothing like M rated, teen rated. Like it's uh
Okay.
PG for everyone, but
Oh, all right.
style
Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah,
older
I mean,
people.
do
Yeah,
you remember like old school cartoons? How they'll show like the devil
yeah.
more
There's
like
Yeah.
no.
cartoonish.
No. I
It's like
disagree.
that.
I disagree because old school cartoons had very racial and like sexual themes, whereas Cuphead does not.
No, no, no. But I'm saying overall how the enemies look. Like they're very like not creepy or anything like that, but like towards the end where you do fight the devil and the devil's art form is like how old school cartoons
Yeah,
will
yeah.
Yeah,
be,
I
like
get what you're saying. I understand.
yeah,
I
it's
got it.
it's
No,
like that. So I
Cup,
don't know if your kids
Cuphead.
will be, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if your kids will be creeped out from that.
No, I mean, so maybe. I mean, when you talk about the devil, maybe darker imagery, but darker
Mhm.
imagery saying back in 1939, whereas you want to see darker imagery in 2020, you,
Listen, I just asked a simple question. I didn't want a fucking
you could,
history
man.
lesson.
You
Jesus
could. That's
Christ.
all. You
Yeah,
could.
it's
Also,
not
I
Dante
started
Inferno.
watching. Also, I started watching the series. It's the second season called Space Force, and
Oh my god.
Oh my god. This
better, but I don't know how by how much.
That's probably not by much.
All right, I got two more, and that's all I'm gonna say. I beat
okay.
Spider Man Miles Morales.
You beat it?
Yeah,
What's your card?
I bought it for 30.
Okay, that's a green card for you, or maybe a yellow card.
I for 30, I'll give it a yellow.
Ouch.
Ouch.
For 30 bucks, it really is. I mean, I was hearing all bullshit and whatever, but once I played it, and I my own opinion, it is a sort of DLC. Considering what paid for DLC, it is
Right.
somewhat as a DLC.
Did you 100% it?
No, I did the full story. Of course, I didn't do all the side missions, but
Well, probably you're giving a yellow card to the story itself, I think, but I
no,
think
the story was good. The time of playing, the amount of play time, that's what I'm
but I
giving it.
think if it goes straight, I think well, you just did straight story, right?
Basically,
So I think of course you're gonna beat it fast. That's my knowledge at
no,
least.
but I'm
Because
saying
that's
the
but
story
that
was
that that's
good.
like a very there's a flaw in that logic, and it's not me necessarily defending Spider-Man, it's defending any open world game, because if you think about it, if you just take out the main story of any open world game, you can beat it in a few hours. Like it is very like direct. Like even Horizon Zero Dawn, it's a very straightforward story. And if
Eh,
it wasn't for all the open world stuff you could do, you
So,
could beat it in like a couple of days. Like
so
it's not
couple
it's
days. No, I could have beat this in fucking 1 day, maybe 5 hours if I actually kept going. But do you think it's worth $60?
it was never $60. I think the most you would pay
40
for it was 50, and I think that was the PS5 version. I think I paid 40 for it.
Worth
for the
40.
PS4.
Yeah, for the to
Mm.
me it was worth that money. I would have. I again. I can't remember
Right.
if I paid. I don't think I paid 50, but I still think it would. I would pay the 50. Is it worth the 60? No, because I think there is. Yeah, it's definitely shorter overall than Marvel Spider-Man, but it's still like the quality behind it. I think was good to where it made up for the lack of that content.
Also, though, I'm gonna say is where are the boss battles? I'm comparing this to the first Spider-Man. Where are the boss battles?
There's a
Side
training.
missions.
There was a training simulation where you do fight it the Vulture. Um, there was the
Spoilers.
Rhino boss fight. I think there's two Rhino boss fights,
Yeah, but
and then there's the final boss battle, and then
yeah.
I think there was something
So,
else.
so who were they though?
Don't. I mean, I will
No,
let you
I
play
mean,
it.
no, don't spoil who the
I'm
final.
saying though, you so we can't spoil the first one. You got to fight everybody, correct?
I mean, the first Spider-Man game, yeah, you get to fight like sort of the Sinister Six
Yeah. Where this
ish.
one was like,
Where
okay,
Miles
cool.
Morales, I don't know who you fight. You know.
I for me, it didn't feel like I fought good boss battles. I don't.
Mhm.
Sal, can you even say maybe?
No, I mean, if you're just comparing boss battles, yeah, I mean, Spider-Man has more than Miles, but I mean, what you want the same boss battles, and I just feel like we would get into the
No, I
argument
want
of
new
it's
ones.
rehashing the same thing.
No, I
Yeah,
want new
but
ones. You
Miles
said
doesn't have like his like he has very few, like less than a handful of unique villains to him.
yeah,
Otherwise, he's just fighting the same people that Spider-Man normally fights.
yeah. But I do like the story. I mean, at the end, you know what happens. I sort of like that story was sufficient. Boss battles not. Um, of course, the side quest, just like the first one, it's like, hey, collect shit. We're here, and there. Do the same shit over and over again. Whatever. Um, I do like. like I said, I didn't really look into anything, but I saw everyone. This is a DLC. I feel like
Okay.
$30 would be the max, and I paid 30, so I'm okay with it. So I'm giving that yellow.
Okay. Okay. That's so each
And
his own.
then my last one. Sorry, guys. Pokemon. Uh, fuck yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Better
yeah.
than Digimon, right?
Oh, hey,
Just saying. But fuck yeah. What part? Did you beat it?
no, he has not beaten it yet.
I think we lost him. Did we lose him?
No, I just opened 3 cans. Sorry, and my whiskey. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
nice.
That's your
Okay.
fault. That's your fault.
Okay.
I
But
do like because considering that we actually you and me, Mike, talked about fighting, whereas catching, I actually enjoy the catching uh sort of gameplay now compared to the fighting aspect.
right.
Um, I do like there's well now that I've gone into it, it's not 100% open world as
No.
Sal can sort of mention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's semi-ish open
It's
world.
it's
Well, you
it
can
is
areas to roam in,
it is
but
like
you don't hop in between areas seamlessly.
it's right there. Like it's almost perfect open world. It's almost right there, and I don't mind it that not being 100%, but I do like everything about it. Like this, that's why he was. Sal said, "Hey, Bob." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play this shit," and I've been playing this shit like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've been.
Mm,
I'm not gonna say
nice.
that because that's illegal, but I've been playing it here and there and in between everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I
Nice.
I bought a body controller to play it on the TV, and yeah, I. What is my nitpick?
That is not Digimon.
Oh, don't you say anything because Sal also told me about the Digimon event. Oh, I could talk for hours of that, but we will not. Next time.
Next time. Next time. Well, once you beat it, we got to give your card for it, and
I'm
once I
giving it a
ever.
green already, man. There's no way it could be worse than a green.
Okay. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Then,
But I
of
also have to ask
course,
Sal about certain questions
Yeah,
about
yeah. Another
yeah.
day.
another day. Another day. But what about you, Sal? What you been up to?
Nothing. I just want to get all my school related matters done and out of the way before spring break, so that
Green
way spring
Bay.
break I can just go into a coma for a week.
Where we going to the coma?
I did pick out what my March. I'm hoping I can do it within a week. My March game review is going to be. Um, Ham. What I don't. I doubt you care, but I figured I'd bring it up to you because you have an Xbox. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is coming to Games Pass, and seeing that that was kind of like a triple A ish, like a kind of a hyped up game at the
Is it
time.
really AAA?
I think so. It's who makes that? Who made that game?
I don't know, but do you think it's gonna be good?
What's in a
I don't
Square
I
Enix?
don't know. I didn't hear anything negative about it. We were negative about it because it looked like shit during the E3
Also,
presentations.
if it's multiplayer, I'll play with you.
But it's Marvel's Guardians of the. I mean, it's on Games Pass. It's
Is it
there. So
multiplayer? I'll play with you.
I don't know. I'm just gonna play it. I'm gonna try it out. It's
Yeah.
available this weekend. So I'll download it and then over spring
Mm.
break I'm gonna try to beat it all the way through, and
And
we'll see
review it.
if I get to clear it before the end of March.
Nice. Okay then.
Um,
Nice. Nice.
all right,
Nice.
so we do have to get into that conversation that the Batman here, but there's a couple quick things to bring up before we get into that conversation. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, Apple had an event today.
Yeah.
No one cares anymore. All right, number two,
Whoa!
it was all just like a chip performance and like we are now gonna add this chip to the iPhone SE. We're now gonna sell you a $4,000 little mini computer that has all the things better than a Microsoft computer can do, and it's just all
You missed
updates
one
to their
more. I
software.
won't say anything else if you get the last one.
Get the last one. What?
The iPad Air.
Yeah, there was. I mean, they updated the performance on the iPad Air.
Also, you don't want to
Mhm.
see the iPhone 13, the green one that looks like Master Chief?
Do you work for Apple right now or something? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, who
Sometimes
is
I do.
like if it this is their usual event where they talk about their
Yeah, yeah.
software shit
I forgot
and
Ham is the tech guy.
and there's I don't know, nothing came out of it that like I'm not interested in it because I'm not rich and I can't afford shit like that all the time. So
Oh,
I
what phone do
Yeah.
you have right now? Hold up.
an 11, which was like 2 years ago because when I got to switch over carriers, they just gave it to me for free.
No,
Yeah,
I have a
exactly. Yeah, you got shit, man.
you got an 11. That's pretty good, though.
I bet you
You
Ham
don't have an
has.
SC, so
I have a 10. I have like literally the first 10, and I
you
still
an
have it.
X motherfucker?
I've honestly I haven't even I have an X, yeah, just a 10, like literally the day 110. Um, I don't know if I'm planning to upgrade to whatever 14 is going to happen this year or not.
At the
I don't
end of
know. Maybe the end of the year. Maybe my phone still works. So
so we all have apples. That's what I'm saying. So look.
we have Apple, but the thing is I like, is Apple always going to do a fucking event when they have like, oh, guess what, guys? Guess what? We decided to sell you a wheel. Oh
Yeah,
wait,
it's Apple, motherfucker. Come on,
it's Apple.
keep
Oh, I
up.
forgot. Apple did sell a wheel for
When
your
they
desk.
create a 15-second super animatic trailer for a color palette, you know they got shit no more. You know they got nothing to talk about.
They have nothing else. No.
That was just like, why am I watching this trailer? Like, I feel like there was more thought put into this trailer than any of the rest at this point.
Okay, this is the weakest event, though. The
At
end.
this point, I won't even be surprised if they do like an event where they just add and just show everybody that they added new emojis.
Yeah, it'd be better than Sony at least.
True.
True.
There's a state of play tomorrow, but it's just like about improvements to like PS4 and PS5 titles. So I don't know exactly
Cool.
what that means.
Oh,
I
Also,
don't
green
know.
hey,
card. They win.
you guys
Uh,
mentioned. Sorry, you guys mentioned Horizon, whatever. Is that on the
20
PS4?
hours ago.
Is that on
Yes, it is.
PS4?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Second thing to bring up really quick, Pokemon Day happened, and there was a Pokemon Presents, which showed off some updates to their current games. But the biggest thing that they showed off was a teaser trailer for the next generation Pokemon games, as well as the starter Pokemon for those games. The titles are
I
Pokemon
saw that.
Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, uh,
Yes.
and they come out sometime later this year. The biggest takeaway, though, is that they are really marketing this game to be an open world game
Uh
Uh
oh.
oh.
because they never said open world for Legends of Arceus.
Yeah.
Only people kept saying that. They never said it was open world. But this one, they are open, like all like their Twitter posts, their teaser trailer, the description of the
Yeah.
game, it's saying open world. So
Now,
this is a
my
big step for them.
my question is, because we did touch based on this, and you did mention, Sal, that you're nervous that future games are not going to be how Arceus is. Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
remember.
do. Yeah.
Okay, and I mentioned I feel like every game, any brand new game, any new mechanics they have used, they have never gone back to it. They've always gone forward. Of course, it might not be well polished and
Still
stuff
rip
like
off of
that.
Digimon. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Pokemon's more successful. But um do you
You know the
think that
Japanese market.
maybe do you think Legends of Arceus was sort of a beta to
Test
get you
trial.
ready, test trial
It's
for
such a
the new.
weird. Okay, I know what you're trying to ask, and I get
Yeah.
what you're trying to ask, but it's such a weird way of putting it. Like
Mhm.
I, because you have to think like the team that is creating this Scarlet and Violet is essentially the same team that created Sword and Shield 3 years ago. So whatever they had planned for this game was already put into place, starting with Sword and because even Sword and Shield
Before Arceus.
had little mini open areas. Arceus was a different team from Game Freak.
What are you
Like
saying?
it's not the
That
same director, it's not
okay.
the same
Okay.
artist, it's not the same anything. It's just like a different Game Freak team. It's like Team B that they were working on that one.
But
So they,
same
if
company.
anything, they
So you
were probably creating a game centered around new mechanics that feels like that's going to be introduced in the next generation to get people introduced to those mechanics. So that way they kind of get used to it. So that when the next generation comes, they're already familiar. The gameplay doesn't need like, a hardcore tutorial. They should like the hardcore Pokemon players that have bought Legend of Arceus are already going to be good to go from then on out. So I feel
Hmm.
like it was still carried through, but I wouldn't call Legends of Arceus a beta. I still think it's a solid game. Like,
no 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 no. I agree. It's a solid game, but it's maybe a sort
You
of
don't think it's true potential?
but there's like a beta would imply that there's improvements to be made, and I honestly don't know what improvements can
test
be
run,
made
as Michael
for Legends of
test run.
Arceus.
Test
Like,
run.
no, I wouldn't even say a test run because that still doesn't make like they knew going in what they were gonna make.
So
So
call it then. What would you call it?
a game. It's just a game. Like
Uh,
this probably won't make sense, but my argument has always been like I always felt Halo 3 multiplayer was a beta for Halo Reach multiplayer, where they threw in the items as a gimmick and it was so unbalanced, but it was polished when Halo Reach came out when they did it as abilities instead. Like that felt like more like a beta to me than Arceus does for the next generation of Pokemon games.
okay.
We'll
Either
see.
way, it's exciting. I didn't think they were gonna do one this soon, but because I want to 100% Arceus, so I am good with Pokemon content. But
Yeah.
now I feel like I gotta rush through some shit so that I can get ready for that one because I want to make sure I start fresh on that game.
Also, do you think that it would be closer resembling Pokemon Arius this next iteration of Pokemon games?
Gameplay, yes, but I mean it looks like it's going like back. I mean it's a regular. It's like not back in time kind of story
No, of
anymore.
course.
So
But you did more battling.
I kind of hope so because I do miss the battling
A
part
little bit. I
of
miss it just
Pokemon.
a little bit.
Like I like the option of not having to do battles, but I don't like that there's a lack of Pokemon trainer battles in the game. And so I'm pretty sure they'll bring that back more full force. In
Yeah.
order for them to continue like their competitive online tournament stuff, it has to be through like the quote unquote core series games, which
Mm,
again is a weird thing to say, but it is what it is.
which with the storyline of Arceus, I understand that that's not the big, motivation of doing that. And they did it well. They're like, hey, it's not a battling game. It's what you have to do with sort of like Pokemon Snap. You got to get all the information, and then you get a little battles here and there, and that's fun with me because the
Mhm.
storyline makes it so. But if they make battling with this, yeah, I will get that game.
And then maybe Michael think about getting a Switch.
Maybe. I'm still not convinced.
Not getting a Switch, just think about getting a
A
Switch.
year? It's
Think
been a
about it.
year? I don't even know.
I
Okay,
don't know.
I think that's all the major stuff out of the way. So let's
Yes.
get into this. Finally, we get to talk about the Batman, which, much like how Spider-Man was a
The
big
Batman.
thing for me, the Batman is kind of a big thing for Mike. Now, going into this
Yes.
movie, or at least leading up to this movie, Mike had said it was shit from the beginning. He didn't have any
Oh,
hope for this movie. He said it looks awful, dark, blah 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 blah, whatever. Batman, gritty, gritty. No one cares. Kind of. That's what your attitude was.
Yeah. I have. I went into the movie theater with very low expectations. My expectations that not even Batman was going to show up.
I remember my I remember my initial reaction was it's weird that he's got a muscle car. Probably a Vin Diesel cameo for all we know could have happened.
yeah.
But it's still the other trailers kind of seemed it more interesting. So I was a bit excited. I really wanted to see it opening night. Unfortunately, because of timing, I couldn't. But I did. I made arrangements to make sure that I had the full 3 hours because that's a whole mental
Yeah.
preparation for a
Yep.
3-hour movie going in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was excited to see it. I don't know what Ham's take was on it. Ham's always like whatever.
Yep. That's
Studio
why.
66. That's all I've just remember
Oh
him
shit! I saw
mentioning.
that too. Oh, you fucked up now.
Too late. All
Too
right.
late.
So going into this, I think what we'll do, I mean, I'm going to still go through the whole ratings and stuff like that, but
Yep.
Ham and I will speak first about the movie, give
Hmm.
our cards, give our discussions, our brief discussions on it, and then we'll let Mike kind of take the spotlight for a while, and then
Okay.
we'll
I
go
like that.
into uh similar to what we did for Spider-Man, because there's obviously only two ways that this is going to go, and I feel like there's going to be some topics brought up that's going to lead to much larger discussions, if assuming that we disagree on certain things, but we'll see what happens.
Hmm.
Okay, so the Batman, a 2 hour and 56 minute action adventure movie.
Well, I
That
thought
was
that was like an hour.
what?
He fell asleep.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wish.
IMDb gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Mm.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 86%.
Mm.
There's no other third party here, so we're going straight to Ham's Peeps. He promised to everybody that he would dress up as Batman, and lo and behold, he sold it, and he dressed up as Adam West's Batman, which is why 92% of his people like
I,
the movie.
I saw it with 6 people. So there you go.
The synopsis is long. I don't think I need to read it. It's Batman. We have so many iterations of Batman. I think we get the gist of what the Batman should entail. We do have Robert Pattinson coming in as the role of Batman slash Bruce Wayne. We have Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Paul Dano as Riddler. What else is big name here? Andy
John
Serkis as Alfred. What was it?
John Turturro.
John
Tur-
Cena. Do, 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 do.
So what?
yeah, John Turturro as Carmine Falcone.
Oh yeah, that was so weird to me because I was like, I can't get over Transformers. Like I can't do it.
Why not?
I, I'm saving my thing for last. I'm saving my thing for last.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So uh I guess Ham, go ahead and give me your card first, and then I'll share mine, and then we'll go into a brief discussion of what we both liked or disliked about the movie. So what's
Okay.
your card for the movie?
Yellow.
I'm gonna give it a green. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be completely transparent. I was thoroughly entertained from beginning to end. I thought like I would honestly want to watch this movie again because I thought the story was pretty solid. I thought the Riddler was, I think, well represented. I mean, far superior than Jim Carrey's Riddler, I would say. But I like how this was very, it felt very like much like an Arkham kind of game in a way where like the story is much like focusing on the corruption of the world, and Gotham City has always been about corruption. I feel like what this movie did successfully that the first season of Gotham couldn't do was to show how shitty Gotham is. And so I felt like the world around this
Mm.
was, I don't know, it made sense to me. It just felt right to me. And I liked, and this is, I know this is going to become a disagreement later on. I like that we didn't get a retelling of Batman's
No,
parents
I agree.
dying,
I agree.
because, like, it is the same story. And I know what we're going to talk about later. I know what's going to come up, but it's like there is no significant impact to like a character dialogue between Thomas Wayne, like between Thomas Wayne and Bruce Wayne. His parents have always had meeting, I felt like, but it was more
Martha.
about like the history and legacy of the family line versus the actual conversations that was ever carried out. So I like that we didn't necessarily get a whole retelling of that, but we did kind of get little glimpses of it sprinkled throughout the movie. I would say that it's unfortunate we did not get enough Alfred. I don't think there
Yeah.
was enough of Alfred for me to really. say or judge much of Andy Serkis's performance. I think in the moments that he did great was like him helping kind of with like the detective stuff, which was kind of neat because it reminded me very much of like animated adventures Alfred,
Yeah,
where they always had dialogue together and they always like kind of worked together in a way. I thought the soundtrack was love the
yeah,
music. I could have sworn, and Ham, you got to back me up on this one. I swear, like there is some hints of like the animated adventures Batman
yes,
in
yes.
that
I
theme
did
song.
hear one of. I was like, wait a minute, close, close.
The Batmobile chase was one of the coolest scenes I saw like in this movie. Like I thought it was way more than I would have expected. Way better than any stupid Batmobile chase that the Dark Knight trilogy ever gave. Um, I think I think Mike did enjoy Dark Knight. I mean, he can correct me wrong if I'm wrong later, but I just want to get to the point of I didn't really like the Dark Knight trilogy. I love the Dark
Oh,
Knight. I like the Dark Knight because mainly Joker. And I think if Joker wasn't part of it, I could really care less because I hated Dark Knight Rises. Batman Begins didn't really care for. I didn't like much of the explanation of how he became Batman, and so I felt like to me I like this better than Christian Bale's Batman. I think this is far superior. This is right up there for me with Michael Keaton is always still going to be the number one for me, but if it's not Michael Keaton, it's this version of Batman. It's this um, Robert Pattinson being Batman. And I have to emphasize Batman because we barely got anything of Bruce Wayne, which I can see that as a complaint, but I think there's room for argument for that later. Ham, what are your takes on the movie?
I think they try to put it like a noir movie. Um, he's a detective, aka
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, aka Catwoman, is supposed to be the femme fatale. But in this movie, I mean, it doesn't go by the norms, whereas she makes Batman do whatever she wants. Like, he is enthralled with her, and then it's like, nope, fuck you. You are somebody I don't want to hang out with, but, I don't know. It just felt like it wasn't true to every Batman iteration that we've seen, whereas Catwoman could pull one off Batman, where this is like Batman's like, okay, I'll do this, but no, no, man. I don't know, just felt weak. I for This is the first movie I think that the villains are better than the actual protagonic. Oh yeah, I'm drunk. Protagonists. Like I liked Penguin and the Riddler better than Batman. Um, like you said, I didn't see much of Riddler.
You mean Bruce Wayne?
Oh, sorry, no, not Riddler. I'm drunk. Uh, Pennyworth. Uh,
Yeah, Alfred.
yeah, I think that was a little waste considering you have a good actor, a good motion, whatever. Um, it just didn't land with me.
So are
It,
you more of a red or a yellow? Like, are you just giving a
it
yellow to be nice, or you just really didn't like the movie?
no, it's a yellow. I think it could have been a green if it was like 2 hours long.
So you're giving it a yellow. You're knocking it down because it's 1 hour too long.
No, I think it could have been a green if it was an hour less. Like it looked like it was gonna end and then it didn't. Then it kept going. It's like, oh no, it's blah 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 blah. Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne. It's like, oh, it's Bruce Wayne. Then it's like, is it? If he's Bruce Wayne, spoilers. But I don't know. It was kind of weak,
Hmm.
and that's
Okay.
why.
What do you have like a? Okay. Well, first of all, because we haven't spoiled anything really yet. By the way, people, spoilers warning just right now because
Spoilers,
it's hard to
spoilers,
talk
spoilers, spoilers.
much about what we like and dislike without really giving a lot of spoilers. So spoils, you're gonna be spoiled. You're spoiled from here on out.
Yeah. Plus, we
Spoilers.
gave you guys a week already, close to a week.
All
So
right.
but Ham, like, do you have like a favorite part of the movie?
Huh. Good question. Um, no.
Wow. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little surprised by your take on it, but
Yeah,
you're drunk. Maybe I'll give you some slack for that.
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe towards the end of the year we'll get Redemption Ham.
Maybe,
He's like, yeah, I
He's
don't know
like,
why I
my
gave it a
gold
yellow.
card. This is my gold card.
no.
Okay, so there is still a lot more to talk about, but I want to make sure that Mike is able to present his
Yeah.
argument because I could definitely see this go one of two ways, but I'm not gonna. I'm I'm just gonna go ahead and hear out what his true feelings for the movie are. So, Mike, lay it on us.
Oh,
What's your
so by the
card?
way,
And
before Mike goes, I just saw it today. I don't know when you saw it, and Mike saw it probably
Mhm.
what last week.
I saw it midnight release Thursday,
Ooh, okay, okay.
and I got a cool popcorn bucket and a cup.
Yeah, we saw.
I thought the Spider-Man was better than that one.
Oh fuck you! That
Oh,
cup is better, man. That cup, the bucket is whatever. Of course, I will give it the Spider Man bucket for sure. But the cup, oh, the cup. Honestly, I would have just buy the cup itself.
Huh. All right, Mike. Go ahead, lay it on us. What's your card? What's your take?
So what I mentioned before, my expectations for this movie were very low, and I just felt this movie back then that this was a catch grab for DC because everything else is falling apart for the DC, you know, entertainment universe and somewhat. What
what?
did
Now?
yeah, Justice League is a success. What did I think about this movie? What's my card? Gold card. This is a fucking masterpiece. I could honestly say this without hesitation. Robert Pattinson is my favorite Batman of all time. This is a gold card for me. This
Really?
is one of my favorite, if not second favorite movie of all time where number one will definitely be The Dark Knight for me. Um but the way that, Sal put it, if it wasn't for Joker, definitely The Dark Knight could definitely be in second place and this could definitely be in first place overall. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, um everybody did a phenomenal job and I like this version, the story, the recklessness of this Batman where he is in year 2 and he is learning. I didn't need the whole entire origin story again. We've seen it already. It was already enough. I even got annoyed when it was like Batman v Superman where we saw like a little beginning of,
Yeah.
of Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed. I didn't. Nobody needed that, but they still added on and whatsoever. And this one, I just like that. Alfred was the one that was showing him the combat moves, the guerrilla warfare style, and everything. Just going to get this out of the way. The two negative things I will give it is Carmine Falcone, John Turturro. Like honestly, I am on the same side with Sal. After watching Transformers, I cannot see him as a serious actor. I don't know if it's just him. It's not his fault. It's just haunted in my brain. It is. I wanted a little bit. I don't know if it's just miscasting. I wanted to see a little bit more intimidation of a mobster that it's everyone's afraid of him, and I wasn't really honestly scared of this guy. I'm just waiting for him to crack a joke about his mom or meatloaf. I don't know, you know. Second thing, but of course the ending made it up. So I was like, it's okay. He died. That's fine. He's not gonna be in the second movie or whatever. Second thing for sure, I will say for Alfred, I would have loved to see Andy Serkis adaptation as Alfred. What we saw, I liked. I would have liked a little bit more. I did like the conversation with him and Bruce in the hospital, and that little emotional conversation they had together. I did like that, and I wanted more. But I think they didn't add Alfred as much because they just wanted for this story just to be about Batman, Bruce Wayne, just that
Mm,
himself.
okay.
But I would have definitely liked Alfred because Alfred it is a big piece of Batman. Without Alfred, it's without Alfred. Batman sometimes he's just fucked. Sometimes he needs that
Right.
help. He needs that push of like that angel and the devil on the shoulders. Like, okay, wake the fuck up. You're kind of fucking up. You're being less human and everything. Um, but other than that, I love this Batman that, like I mentioned, he is reckless. He is still learning. He is emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
That's what this Batman is, and he just is questioning if he's doing the right thing, if he's it is this worth it? And it's the same thing with this Gotham. As the movie The Joker, where Gotham it could be its own person, and it's a fucking asshole. It makes people it attracts the criminals, and it's the of course it's a criminal city, and this Batman is doing the best he can to try to clean it up because that's what his parents were trying to do, and he just feels like he's failing. Riddler himself, the Penguin, fucking awesome. I just loved it. For sure better than Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is just
Yeah.
more of a meme. you know why not just play Jim Carrey of Batman and Robin, and you're gonna have a good laugh and whatever. But this Riddler honestly is a severe psychopath, and I loved it. The Penguin, I thought Colin Farrell did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the spin-off series to come out for him. I
I
want to
saw
see
that
more.
at the Penguin Rising
Yeah, yeah,
on Max. Yeah.
yeah. Um the Batmobile, I questioned the Batmobile, but holy fuck, that was an intense Batmobile chase with the Penguin. Like, I would have loved to have a little bit. I honestly, I would not even a little bit more chase. I think it was just time. Like the way that it lasted was perfectly done. Was perfectly done. Catwoman, phenomenal. Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon, amazing. I love that chemistry with him and Batman a lot. I don't think he's better than the Jim Gordon in the Dark Knight because that's I think that was an awesome Jim Gordon in the Dark Knight trilogies. But Jeffrey Wright definitely is up there for sure as Jim Gordon. Um, man, what can I say? I was not bored at all. I was entertained from beginning to end. I love everything about this film. It was a great story. I feel like this is honestly one of the top Batman films of like it just felt like a copy and paste from straight from a Batman novel into film, and it just felt great to watch, and I loved it. I just loved it. I think honestly, if you give it two more films, I don't even think two more films. I think this movie alone is better than Batman Begins and Batman. I mean, The Dark Knight Rises itself.
Well.
Of course, like I mentioned, this might be like it could go up. The Dark Knight is for sure the first movie. It's number one
Yes.
because of
Yes.
the Joker, because of the story of Two Face and everything. But this was for sure will be number two. Like phenomenal, great
Yeah. I agree
movie.
with that.
It's a great movie. I loved it. Gold card for sure. And we could start the discussions now.
The only problem I have with the Dark Knight being labeled better than this one is that,
Mhm.
again, if you took away Joker, even if you left Two Face alone, I don't think the Dark Knight
Mhm.
would be as good as people are talking about it.
Well,
Right?
we
The
can
Joker,
compare. If there's a sequel to this, we can compare it to Dark Knight.
I suppose. I mean, technically,
Yeah.
there was Joker in this
Uh,
one,
There
so
was Joker. Apparently the Joker, the actor that's playing the Joker is the guy from Internals, the one that was like control people's minds and stuff.
oh, really?
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the Joker in this film. I think they want to continue on with him from future films and there. Why not? But I see your point, Sal, of like if Joker was not in the Dark Knight and it was just Batman and Two Face, the film will definitely struggle for sure. And I agree with you because Batman's voice in that one, that's the number one complaint that I have.
I can't stand the voice. Yeah, I think it's so stupid.
The
I can't.
voice the voice is stupid. You could like you have all this you're a billionaire, you have all this technology. You could have easily just used a robot voice.
Of all the Batman suits, though, I feel like Robert Pattinson's Batman suit is probably my favorite. Besides Michael Keaton, of
Mhm.
course. Nothing can ever top Michael Keaton
All
for
right,
me.
all right.
That's a
About
given.
this.
But besides Michael Keaton, like this suit, it grew on me throughout the entire film. Because even with,
Agree.
when I was like hearing the boots at first, I was like, "That's weird," but like the theme behind it of like, well, let me first talk about the intro. The intro was so good. The fact that,
Yeah.
this Batman is so established that even the bat signal puts fear into the criminals, and they look at the shadows and
Yeah,
he's going
yeah,
like, Batman may not even be there, but fuck, we know Batman, so I'm not going to take that risk. So I thought
Mhm.
that intro was great. His fight scenes, I thought the fight scenes were done really well. I heard complaints that you couldn't see much of it. I don't understand that complaint because I
I
saw
don't understand that
everything
either.
very clearly.
Yeah.
I thought the action, like the action scenes were so smooth and so slick. Like
A lot better
what
than
I
the
kept,
Dark Knight trilogies for sure.
I kept comparing it to, like, because people were praising Netflix Batman in that one warehouse scene where he like just brutalizes everybody.
Mhm.
But to me, that was like way over the top, like way dramatic. Like it didn't feel natural. Just didn't feel right as Batman. Whereas this one, there were some over the top things, but it transitioned so smoothly and it just made sense. And like they made it so like it just felt comfortable to watch it, and it just like I didn't have any complaints or nitpicks despite how many times he was being shot. But people were also saying like, oh, he didn't get shot in the face. He got shot in the face a few times. They
yeah.
just never
Yeah.
got his mouth. Like they always got like his forehead or like the side or whatever. I mean, he's got a bulletproof mask, I guess, but still, like everything seemed like it had a logical explanation to it.
Mhm.
The the only thing like that I can't praise it as much as you, and this is a question that I don't know is maybe a deeper conversation than what it is.
Mhm.
Does Bruce Wayne even matter?
So what it is that the reason why I could understand of why they wanted to just focus on Batman instead of Bruce Wayne for two comic book series. There's Earth 1 and there's Batman Ego, for sure. Batman
Talk
Ego
about the
is
story.
where Bruce Wayne is just questioning himself to continue as being Batman. And I feel like, and of course, like his ego comes to life and it's a darker Batman. It's evil. It's like, you know how like evil Doctor Strange is evil Batman in his mind. And I think that's what Matt Reeves wanted it to do with this is Bruce Wayne depends on becoming Batman. He does not depend on himself as a billionaire whatsoever. And that's what I liked about the ending where there is hope to rebuild this city and there is hope for me to have a peace of mind of having a balanced life. And you could honestly say like, okay, yeah, sure, Bruce Wayne doesn't matter then. To me, I think that's what this movie wanted you to think that, but I think deep down inside as a character, he was trying to figure that out himself where in the beginning of the movie, he's like, I don't give a fuck what happens to me, Alfred. Like everybody, like you could take whatever you want from me. I still have to try to save this city. And Alfred's like, that's not the way. And I think it towards the end, it gives you the answer of like Bruce Wayne does matter. That's just my take on
Ham, does Bruce Wayne matter?
Not in this fucking movie.
it. I do like Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne. Like he's just like
but
more like edgy, like I don't give a fuck about
but
me. I don't
okay, but
care.
I asked that question one because yeah, we didn't get a whole lot of Bruce Wayne, and we this entire time we've always been talking the Batman, the Batman, the Batman, the Batman did this, the Batman did that, the Batman, like it's always just Batman and not Bruce Wayne. And coming from a standpoint of like,
Hmm.
Spider-Man is so important to me because I also know how important Peter Parker is to that character. Like the human aspect and the superhero aspect are both equally just as valuable to each other. Where the Batman, like if you go back and try to describe all the other movies, no one is gonna compare Bruce Wayne's. No one's gonna compare Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne to Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne to
Uh,
Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne, because in the end, no one gives a shit about Bruce Wayne.
yeah,
Only people only give a shit about Batman. And to me, like
okay.
I don't like that aspect. I don't like just focusing on the superhero, I guess what we can call it. I very much care also about the
But
identity
no,
behind the superhero.
but what I say is, Bruce Wayne in this movie is just him trying to do Batman shit on the side.
Actually, no. This one was
No,
no. This was more Batman shit, and to
No,
see if he should do Bruce Wayne on the side. Where, like like I mentioned earlier, I saw the three movies with my wife. In the Dark Knight trilogies, what they do got right is for sure is the Bruce Wayne
for example,
aspect. Where Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne was looking for revenge. He leaves Gotham City for 7 years to figure himself out, from separating from revenge and from criminals to justice and vengeance. And the whole entire trilogy actually revolves around Bruce Wayne. And while he's still trying to figure out if he could still balance the life of Batman and Bruce Wayne, he does do a lot of Bruce Wayne-ish, and especially towards the Dark Knight Rises, where he gets up as Bruce Wayne, not as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne himself. And you could say that his Batman wasn't as strong as Robert Pattinson's Batman.
so I'm curious because you kind of brought it up. The second movie,
Hmm.
are we assuming then that would be more Bruce Wayne focused?
For sure.
Do you think that would cause like I don't know what the right word or what phrase I'm trying to go for here. Like people won't be as excited to see that movie or might be disappointed because it's more Bruce Wayne focused and not Batman focused.
Oh, in the Dark Knight.
No, and the sequel to this movie to Robert Pattinson's The Batman.
In this one, honestly, I think they need to find a way to find balance into it. Where, because I do like how he's Batman the whole entire time, and then when Riddler gives out a riddle, that Riddler is actually after Bruce Wayne. He's like, holy fuck, that's me. Like I need to come out as Bruce Wayne, and he just feels a lot safer as being Batman, and he needs to face the music. And I think that's what I hope part 2 is like that, where he is trying to develop becoming his own, of course, him being Bruce Wayne. And they could probably bring out a villain that could test him, could to might that might be that might bring him out of the shadows. And there's one villain, and that's Hush.
which
Yeah,
one's hot?
Hush is the one that like
Takes
he
people identities.
yeah, he's usually portrayed in the comic like he's got like bandages wrapped around his face.
Yeah,
Hmm.
bandage around his face. He's best friends with Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne is honestly like he knows who's Batman is. He knows that is Bruce Wayne, and he tests his Bruce Wayne himself. And Bruce Wayne's like, "Fuck, should I rely on myself to be Batman or Bruce Wayne?" And I would love to see that in the second movie, or
Yeah,
maybe, yeah.
I see the points of realization that you're bringing up, and I
Hmm.
like that it's there. I like that they're kind of like stepping stones into what the sequel should now focus is the Bruce Wayne aspect and how important that is to being Batman.
Hmm.
Since they did a great job already on the Batman already, they can kind of pull back away from that a little bit. I just hope it's not too much. Like obviously the ideal answer is yeah, there's a perfect balance between the two, but in reality, that's not going to happen. So they just kind of have to be careful that there's not like it's 25% Batman and 75% Bruce Wayne, because I think people would be a little bit disappointed, but like,
Yeah.
maybe get it closer to that 50% of Batman, so that way people at least have enough to take from that.
Yeah, or if anything, they could definitely use the storyline of Zero Year, where Bruce wasn't Batman at first and he was going against Red Hood 1, aka like
I thought
the
maybe we'd see Red Hood. Was he at the beginning of that video, right at the beginning of the movie, or no? Who was that?
which one?
The beginning of the movie there. We thought I saw Red Hood or not, but
No.
No, I don't remember. I actually saw this movie twice.
oh,
Yeah, I forgot
Um,
to mention that.
we
um,
we got sort of a mention drop. I mean, you can correct me because you're the Batman verse person. Bloodhaven was brought up. Is that not
yes,
like a Nightwing territory kind of thing?
yeah, that's where Dick Grayson is from.
Okay.
I don't know if next movie they're going to really bring the Flying Graysons circus into Gotham. To I could see them bringing it to trying to rebuild it, and then there's where they could bring on McConey, not McConey, sorry, Macaulay Culkin, um, um,
like
Salvatore,
Crowley.
Maroni, for territory and probably like shooting out the place, killing, Nightwing's parents, Dick Grayson's parents, and probably I don't think Robert Pattinson has the capacity of adopting a child and training him. Maybe not yet, but yeah, like that's where Nightwing's territory is at, is Bloodhaven.
Okay, yeah, because that's where Catwoman
Is
headed
heading
towards
to,
the end of the
yes,
movie.
yes. What did you guys think about the Joker cameo?
I liked it. It was fine.
What about you, Ham?
I said next.
What? You don't like the
Really?
Joker?
What was he supposed to like about it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
You didn't
you don't
like
have any,
the little speech he had with the Riddler? Like,
not even a speech, but just like being in the movie in general. You don't think it was like not necessary, or like
I
it
think
was.
of Amazing Spider-Man and the whatever was talking to Electrode. That's what it reminded me of, actually.
Who was talking to Electro?
Uh,
oh, it was Green Goblin.
yeah, that's what that actually reminded me of. Exactly what
It
it was.
wasn't the comedian talking to Green Goblin or something in Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the ending.
What I'm talking about? Sal doesn't even remember. That's his favorite movie. Favorite
No,
Spider-Man.
I disagree. Man, damn, I'm honestly disappointed that you didn't like this movie as much.
I might need to
But
rewatch. I'm sorry, but it like he's a
mhm.
detective, and Catwoman's supposed to be his weakness a little bit.
Oh, well, that's another thing. I 100% disagree with you. I've been drinking. Um,
Whoa!
the
Whoa!
the relationship with Batman and Catwoman to me was so fucking awesome to see, because that's how they are. You remember, this is the first time
Yeah,
them meeting each other, and Bruce Wayne, or like Batman, he's like into this girl, but he's like, fuck, I know this is wrong, but like I want to give into temptation, and that's what he sees.
I didn't see it in this movie. I've seen it better done in other
What?
animation and
Well,
the animated movies. He will fall into her direction and be like, "Oh shit, I fucked up," because he is that. Whereas this, I think, is very guarded. I know it's the origin story, but he's like, "Nah, I'm not following this for this bullshit." Whereas, like I said, a noir movie, he's the detective, she's the femme fatale, and then the femme fatale will get the detective. But yeah,
she kind of got. I mean, like, yeah, no, sure, he didn't go to Bloodhaven with her, but I thought, like, it seemed like he fell for her, and it's kind of like, okay, so because Ham and I think our portrayal of Batman, and Mike has more areas, so he's got more to branch off of. But like for I think Ham and I would say animated adventures Batman, like the '90s Batman cartoon, was like the portrayal of Batman that I follow, and
Hmm.
how Catwoman and Batman are in that animation, right, in that series. it felt like it was right here in the movie. It felt like the exact same thing. Like they're kind of
Did you
like
really?
have this sort of weird, awkward intro at first, and then Batman. You can see that Batman's
Mm-hmm.
kind of falling for this girl because again, he's never really cared for anybody at all, and so he kind of like gives into that like, oh, I know I shouldn't be like I should just be using her to get info, but I'm caring now more about her
No,
as
but
I'm learning more about her. And you kind of see that towards like what when they go to get the penguin, like he goes after her and tries to help her and tries to protect her and says, "You need to get the fuck out of here because shit's about to go down."
And he
but
even
for me,
almost
it's always
killed.
been Catwoman using Batman, and Batman's like, I'm like, all right, I guess I have to now.
Well, she fell for Batman as well too because she knows how broken he is, and that's how she feels as well. They're
Yeah,
sort of they're sort of like comforting each other in a different way that only them two could understand, and that's
yeah,
what I
that's
liked
real
about.
life, but I didn't like it. It wasn't
Mm,
real.
I don't know. I
I
disagree.
you need to re. I feel like I want you to rewatch this movie, man, because I was really expecting you to actually like not like it to the extent that we like it, but like the movie at least because I could not stop getting like animated series vibes off of this movie, and it felt great to
I,
watch everything
but
for me like throughout this whole thing.
it gave me definitely for like Hush, like how they were in Hush. Um, definitely from other comic books, definitely of like how you mentioned the Batman animated series for sure. I don't know. I like the chemistry between them. It was really good. It definitely
I,
reminded me
hmm.
a lot of the comic books and in other adaptations for sure. Another thing, what? Okay, Ham, did you like the Batmobile?
I didn't mind it. It was like everyone when that first one came out with Batman Begins or whatever, people hated on that. I didn't care. I didn't care about people hating on it. I didn't
Mhm.
care about people hating on this one if they did. I I thought it was fine. Yeah.
I know Ham, you liked it. I mean, Sal, you liked it a lot. I
Not
think I was actually surprised that you. Well, no, I'm not actually surprised. I'm honestly glad that we both agree that this card scene, this car chase was really fucking intense.
Yeah, I mean, as far
I,
as I know, Christian Bale never had a Batmobile, so that's how I stand on that.
No, he had a
Dark
tumbler.
Knight did
That's
it
what it is.
better. Dark Knight did it better with the car scene, whereas the Batman Begins not good. So
The Batman Begins car scene, I do like,
really,
but the thing is that like he's running away from cops, and
yeah,
like
I don't know.
definitely for sure a cop died in in that scene
Yeah,
for
yeah,
But
sure.
you mean we're not gonna bring up the stupidity of like a stealth tank
yes.
right next to a fucking car?
Yeah,
We ain't gonna
yeah.
hear that shit. Like like I don't care how stealthy you look, you the sound of your tank. No tank is that quiet.
No, no, no. Ford has that
Shut up.
mode
No, we're not
now.
getting into that.
But
Jesus
okay,
Dude,
Christ.
10 years later when that movie came out,
but for sure, the Dark Knight um chase scene was I thought that was pretty cool, and then turned into a bat pod. I like that. That's just me. I liked it.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
barely remember
then
any of it.
but this one for sure was a really good intense chase scene. What did you guys think about the Penguin and the Riddler? Those two villains
no,
alone.
I already said I thought the villains were done very well.
But you thought they were better than Batman?
Yes.
Hmm.
I can see that though. I can see that point of view because I mean, at least for me, if I were to say that, my argument again would be like I would have wanted to see a balance between Bruce Wayne and Batman to kind of really delve into a deeper character study. But the villains I thought were like very well portrayed. I mean, even the Penguin, little as he was in there, I felt like his Colin Farrell acted the shit out of that thing, especially being in a suit like that.
Yeah.
And and did anyone laugh that he was waddling like a penguin when he was all
Yeah,
tied
Oh, at
up?
the
And I
end,
was
yeah,
like,
side up.
at
Yeah,
the club. No, I liked it because like, oh, Pigman.
yeah. I was
Hello,
the only
brother.
one in my theater that chuckled at that. I was like, oh, come on, really? Come on. You don't get it? Like, I
I
get
was
it.
I
I
was
like.
very honestly. I could say this with Dark Knight trilogy. The reason that Christian Bale's Batman works, at least for me, I don't know. I know Sal has his take on it with Christian Bale. the reason why people will give Christian Bale as becoming one of the best Batmans because it's a good actor and good writing makes into a good movie, right? And that carries on for it to be a good movie. I think honestly with this film, Robert Pattinson carried the movie.
Carry the movie?
I
I wouldn't agree to that.
I would.
Um,
Sure.
I don't think he would. No, because everyone. I think everyone equally did their part, and like,
I think
if
everyone did their part, but he stood out the most, and that what
I wouldn't say that.
helped the movie out for me at least. Because like you mentioned, Heath Ledger, take him out of the film, the movie is average. Because even Christian Bale in that movie didn't
They did
stand
though,
out.
because he died. So
No, but like
that's messed up.
Christian Bale didn't
I'm
stand
bringing it
out.
back. I'm bringing it back.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Well, the last thing we should wrap up on, and I really thought you were gonna hone in on this point because this was your biggest complaint. I thought for all the Batman films was that he actually did detective shit in this
He
movie,
did.
as opposed to like all the other Batman movies. Like he like throughout the entire film, and I like that they used Riddler for that to flesh out his detective skills, like trying to solve the puzzles, trying to figure out what this means and where to go and all that stuff. I thought they did that really well in this movie because I don't recall any detective shit happening in the Dark
Yeah.
Knight or in Batman and Robin or whatever
But
Batman
also,
film. Like,
I disagree with the part where he's like, "Oh, Spanish, whatever." Like that was stupid. I'm sorry.
Oh well, I thought I mentioned that I thought that was phenomenal too. The detective scene, like
Yeah,
the
but
whole
well,
entire
you
the
you
whole
brought up
entire
that it was
detective
good,
part.
but I just recall in our previous conversations leading up to this that you were like your number one biggest complaint was that there was no detective shit happening because he was supposed to be a detective or he's supposed to be two steps ahead of everybody. And I really
Mhm.
thought you were gonna have more to say on that. So
Oh,
no, I was just saying I'm surprised that you didn't really like flesh that out more.
oh, my bad, my bad. Like I thought I mentioned that, but for sure, like I did like the whole into detective thing, and that's and honestly, like I thought the whole entire film was like, okay, he's going to just use his whole entire detective stuff. There's going to barely be combat, and this film found a way to do both, and it balanced it beautifully. And
Yep.
the detective part, honestly, was so entertaining that it was just like holy fuck, like he is fucking smart. Because that's the problem that I had with Christian Bale was like, okay, he's not that brutal. How in this film, how Robert Patterson is like, yeah, he's smart, but he's fucking like owns. He's doing crazy stuff. Where Christian Bale is that like you see a couple combat scenes, but they're not as clean how this movie is. And he does do some detective scenes, but they're not as clean how this movie is. So I don't know, like it's just I just I really did like this Batman, and I will honestly say like Matt Reeves and all other writers and everybody in this film did a phenomenal job.
All right. Well, that's one green card, one gold card, which I could have sworn you already gave up your gold
He
card to
did. He
something
did,
else.
motherfucker.
I
He
didn't
To
give up
what
my
was
gold
it to?
card. To wasn't.
he got it like the beginning of this year,
I
I
know. I
didn't.
try to remember what it was though.
but you know he did.
I know because
I
I
didn't.
know I made that joke like a couple times saying, "Oh, he gives it
Yeah.
up too early."
No, I didn't give up my gold card.
I'm pretty sure you did.
No,
I'm gonna
you
have to
said
go.
that. You said the same thing to me last year when I gave a gold card to Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, and I said it again this year because I could
Yeah.
have sworn like you said that you were giving something a gold
Yeah. He
card, and
gave
I'm like,
Becky the
I don't
gold.
know. Do you have the list of the films that we reviewed?
I'm working on it.
God
Um,
damn it!
so one, okay, at least two green cards, and then one whose review is pending because I ham go into that movie sober next time and just don't drink. I yellow, Jesus Christ.
Jesus, I'm offended.
I'm offended
Yeah,
by
that no one cares.
Oh
Okay.
fuck you.
I would say though, definitely go watch this in theaters. Don't wait for it to go straight because I think it's supposed
it.
to end up being streaming
Somebody
on
told me.
HBO Max.
Somebody told me. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait that long. Definitely go out and see it. Obviously mentally prepare yourself for a 3 hour movie. You know, very little soda, maybe more popcorn, and then you'll be all golden. All right, that's it. We're gonna wrap it up because we already went way longer than I think we had anticipated. So, what's the next thing we do? Oh yeah, it's been so long already.
Oh
The
my God,
social
this.
media stuff that Mike doesn't really know yet because he's been off for 2 weeks and doesn't.
Hold on, guys. I have it right here. Hold on, I have it right here.
Go ahead.
I have it right here, guys. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter on WRMA Cast, and go on YouTube as well to follow us on WRMA Cast. And if you want to write us an email, we're still trying to figure out the whole email thing. I think we might just leave it. Maybe I don't know. It's a lot easier just to keep it
Give me some drink.
drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com. And let us know what you guys thought about the film in the comments. Do you agree with me and Sal? Do you agree with me that it's a gold card, a green card? And why do you disagree with him?
No,
All
they
right.
don't. They agree. I
All
thought.
right.
Funny.
Without further ado, any final words, gentlemen?
I am
Oh God, not this again.
Batman.
I'm not Batman.
Let's keep it that way.
Retro!